All right, so solving an absolute value equation. Absolute values are those sticks, those straight up and down lines that mean the number of spaces from zero or the distance from zero that are what we're looking at. And the goal is to get the absolute value alone and then think of the number line because you can have more than one answer, usually. And then it's always the absolute value equals the number of spaces. So if it's a negative number, you can't go a negative number of spaces. You can go in a negative direction, but not a negative number of spaces. So absolute values are going to always have to be positive. What we're going to do, depending on the problem, is we're going to first get the absolute value by itself. So remember, when we have problems like this, we have a times in between the 5 and the absolute value. So in this case, I'm going to rewrite the problem. 0 is not the greatest number to work with, but it's what we have. So 5 absolute value of 2v equals 0. So we're actually going to undo. We can never distribute into the absolute value. So that's another thing I should put up here. Never distribute into absolute value. So no arrows. Okay. So to undo a multiplying that we would think of, we have to actually divide both sides by 5. This 5 will cancel with that, and so I have the absolute value of 2v equals 0 divided by 5. So if I have nothing and I'm dividing it among 5 people, everyone gets 0. And then we think of the number line. So I'm going to be changing this problem as well. 0 is from the absolute value, so it would be 0 equals 2v and 2v equals 0. They're the same answer for both things, so I'm dividing by 2. Divide by 2. 0 equals v. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. 0, or v equals 2. Now, like I said, 0 is a nice special case, so I'm going to change this problem and give you a slightly better one that will make a little bit more sense, hopefully. I'm going to write a new problem. So similar format, I'm going to say 4 equals the absolute value of 3x, and that equals, I'm going to say 24. Okay, so similar problem, it's still got a times in it, so this is times. So to get rid of that 4, I cannot multiply it in. I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And now that will give me the absolute value of 3x equals 6. Now is when I think of the number line. And this means I need to be 6 spaces from 0. So I could be at -6, and that would equal the 3x. Or I could be at 6, so then I have 3x equals 6. So where I'm thinking the number line, I want the smallest number to the left, and then to the right, it will be the bigger number. Now finishing this, I still want to get x by itself, so divide by 3, not x. Divide by 3. Divide by 3, so -2 equals x. And divide by 3, x equals 2. They're not always going to be the positive and negatives, but this case, these are my answers. There are 2 of them. All right, so that is one type of problem. The other type of problem could look like this, where we have the absolute value of 3v minus 3 equals 15. Yet again, we're still going to get the absolute value by itself first. So let's rewrite the problem. Minus 3 equals 15. So in this case, I have to get rid of that minus 3. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And then I have 3v, absolute value of 3v equals 18. Now thinking of the number line, I have -18 equals the stuff inside the absolute value, and then the stuff inside the absolute value equals 18. Now I get to get the letter completely by itself, so divide by 3. -6 equals v. Divide by 3, and v equals 6. So those are my 2 answers. I do have to have both of them with it. But I also do need to see the thinking and the logic of where you got that.